ladies and gentlemen. My name is Matt Leschber, founder of 1836 Property Management, as always in beautiful downtown Austin, Texas. In this video, I want to share a personal story with you to talk through some options you may have when it comes to vendors, what your property management chooses as a vendor, and the best route to go. So recently, as we went from summer to fall, the wind shifted in Austin from south to the north. And in doing so, I come home to a disastrous noise on my roof. This is my personal property. Well, the trees had grown up, and when that wind shifted, they were now scraping the roof, which made me feel like I wasn't doing my job. So I went outside and I thought, can I get the saw out and cut these trees? And then I realized it was going to entail a ladder, me climbing on the roof, using a pole saw to cut trees, but there was still no way I was going to reach the other trees in the other parts of the yard that needed to be cut. So what do? You call somebody, right? So I called somebody that is one of the vendors we use at 1836 because I trust those on my personal property, and just like we trust them on your rentals and my rentals that the team manages. So he comes out. We got a bid. Let's just say for the sake of the argument, I'll make a round number. It was $800. We agree to do it. He comes back the next day. And as I'm coming back home the next day and seeing everything going on, there's a wood chipper out front where they're disposing everything. So the job site is clean. There's no brush left anywhere. They're sweeping the driveway. I see that the neighbor is talking to him, but it's not the next door neighbor. It's the neighbor from way down the street. What in the world is going on? So I kind of let it transpire. And then I go chat with him. I go, what did he have to say? And he said, oh, well, he hired a guy to cut his trees, not somebody that was a tree expert, not somebody that knew anything about trees, how to protect trees, what seasons not to cut them, how to seal the trees so that they didn't get issues with live oaks. He had a guy come by and cut his tree. And the guy charged him, if my guy charged $800, this guy charged approximately $900. But the problem wasn't just with the trees cut. And he did a horrible job. They looked hodgepodge. It was a mess. But remember, it was a guy. It wasn't a tree guy. The problem is that after he complained about the quality of the work, and paid him, the guy took one load of the trees away and left the other half of all the cuttings, and the job wasn't still finished on the trees. So this is why we use trusted, reliable vendors that we can go back to and say, hey, we give you a lot of business. We have a relationship with you. What's going on this job site? And kind of come to terms on how we can rectify any situations that may be either perceived or that may have happened on site. That guy the neighbor came over to my tree guy and said he was going to pay him so much to clean up the mess. So they came to my tree guy. I just keep calling him that, but it's one of our tree vendors. I said, well, I'll charge you $400 to just go clean up this mess and do it. Believe it or not, the neighbor said, well, will you do it for $250? Now, mind you, he got into this problem because he wouldn't use a great vendor. And then he thought he was getting a deal, and he's still trying to negotiate. So I got to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, at some point, we all need to look in the mirror and say, we work together on this. Is this fair? Do I want something cheaper? Absolutely. But there is a cost to looking at simply the price of something. We've got to look at the holistic repair, the cleanup, the reliability, potential damage to those trees if it's done in the wrong season or they're not sealed properly, and look down the road to make sure you and your investment are protected. Use trusted vendors. Trust our team when they use those vendors. I promise you can always find a cheaper guy, but you're going to be cleaning up a mess afterwards. Have a great day. Thanks for trusting us at 1836 Property Management.